What is up, everybody? Welcome to What's Up, Bolts. I'm Fernando Ramirez. Yes, there is no Dan In Daygo. He is off. He's been off last week. He's off for this week because he has spring ball and all that good stuff. But I have some great guests joining me, so stay tuned to find out who those guests are.
Compas on the beat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yeah. So where's Compas?
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on, Gilbert. Let's go.
Come on. Dan In Daygo is at Moe's.
I'll show you. Woo! I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. So we're here to talk schedule release. Who better to have than two of our favorite compas? You guys know them. You guys love them. You guys asked for them. So I was able to bring them on first. Uncle Joe Reedy from the AP, and then
what the rock is cooking.
Yeah, baby.
Jeff Miller of the LA Times. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. How are you both doing?
Well, I'm curious about Dan. What is he playing spring ball? Like he can't even. He's that busy. He can't. He's just
he's coaching. His day started at like 5:30 a.m. and by the time he gets home, the energy is not all there. So he was like, "Hey, can I do the 2 weeks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're good to go for 2 weeks." So
my alarm went off at 5 a.m. this morning. Okay, I mean I didn't get out of bed till 6:30, but my alarm did go off at 5 a.m.
Well, mine went off at 3:55 because I had to write up the 4 international games.
Oh God, that is crazy. What did you make of those international games?
Well, thank goodness the Chargers aren't going to Munich. I think Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota will be an intriguing matchup since he's faced them a lot. Caleb Williams gets a showdown with Jacksonville, which will be interesting. Other than that,
I think the San Paulo one is interesting.
What's that?
Packers and Eagles?
Yeah, the week 1 game in San Paulo. Will definitely be good and gives everybody 4 days of NFL football in the opening week of the season. But the Europe games, I mean, other than Jets Vikings, nothing really of note stood out to me. I don't think Europe wise we have like the matchup like we had last year with Kansas City and Miami and Munich.
Yeah.
But normally it just depends on the schedule combinations.
I completely agree with you there. But all right, let's get into obviously the Chargers released their schedule. They did it with the Sims or whatever. We all know that they like to go above and beyond. I don't know who said it, but somebody called it the Super Bowl for social media teams. So here is their schedule. Week 1, it is against the Raiders at home. Week 2 at Panthers. Week 3 at Steelers. Week 4 Chiefs come to SoFi. 125 game. Bye week again early. I think last year they had it week 5 as well. Then they go to the Broncos. They go to the Cardinals on ESPN Plus. It's a 6 p.m. game also. It's not so there must be a doubleheader or something for that one.
Yeah, 2 Monday. One of the 3 or 4 weeks with 2 Monday night games. Usually, ESPN Plus in the past, that streaming game has been one of the London games, but it will be the Monday night concurrent this year.
There you go. Then the Saints come marching in, and then they go to Cleveland, and then they have 3 in a row at home. The Titans, the Bengals, and the Ravens all come here. You get the Harbaugh Bowl. A lot of us thought that the Harbaugh Bowl would be on Thanksgiving Day. They decided to do it instead on Monday Night Football on November 25th, and they go to the Falcons. They go to the Chiefs. That'll be a cold one in out there in Kansas City. Buccaneers, Broncos, and then they finish on the road twice at Patriots and at Raiders. So let me start off with Jeff. Jeff, what did you make of the schedule?
Well, first off, for the record, not everybody didn't want to see the Chargers go to Munich, because some of us were sort of rooting for that. So it was a little bit of a day. I was kind of hoping that would happen, but it didn't. A few things that jumped out right away, I think probably to everybody. I mean, no Thursday games, which, that's a good thing. No, they didn't get stuck with any of the Wednesday, Christmas Day. So no real short weeks. I mean, they played 2 Monday night games, but that, in this day and age in the NFL, those aren't really short weeks. So that's, one of the first things. And I thought they'd be in prime time more. I mean, last year at this time, we were sitting there, they had 6 primetime games that we knew of on this day last year. And this team's only got 3. So that was surprising. I just thought with Herbert and Harbaugh and all that, I thought they'd be a little more popular for prime time. So, I guess, 5-win team, and nobody's exactly sure what they're going to have. And they got rid of their 2 best, wide receivers or running back that everyone loved to watch. So I think the league kind of said, all right, let's give these guys a year and see what they're about.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I completely agree. The 3 primetime games were definitely interesting. Uncle Joe, what did you make of it?
Like Jeff, Chargers one of 6 teams without a Thursday game this year, which
that's interesting.
Is surprising. But getting a copy of the schedule, because I think I got the league-wide schedule around noon or 1 today. The thing that jumped out to me about the Thursday schedule in general was it was loaded with division matchups. I mean, if you love division matchups, Thursday night football is going to be the package for you, because it's chock full of them. But yeah, you're a 5-win team with a new coach. They lost a ton at receiver. Free agency, not a lot of significant upgrades when you compare throughout the rest of the league. Like, I think 3 of the first 5 weeks, Kirk Cousins and the Falcons are featured in prime time, where I think that's let's find out what with Atlanta. Let's just get them out of the way early and figure out what they got, and then go from there. But they've got a lot to prove this year, and I know I thank the scheduling department for no Thanksgiving night or Christmas game with the Harbaugh Bowl, but they will get to celebrate some of the holidays since it's a Monday before Thanksgiving.
No, and I agree with you guys. I think a lot of us thought that because it was Harbaugh, like you said, Jeff, it was Harbaugh, it's Herbert, there's a different aura to this team, that they would probably get 5 or 6 primetime games, and then decided, you know what, let's chill out on it. If anything, I mean, they could flex them in the back end of the year the way they usually do with other teams. But I definitely agree that that's the most interesting part about it. And then obviously you start with the Raiders and then you end with the Raiders. I thought that was interesting. Jeff, by the way, you saw when that Raider game is, right?
Yes.
That means your boy can make it out there.
I was very happy when I started hearing rumblings that was going to be early, that Charger trip to Vegas, and I was not happy about that. So I was delighted when it officially came out, and they are that was after the Munich thing. That was the next thing I noticed.
Yeah, because now you can have Daniel out there. So for people who don't know, it's been a yearly tradition. I think I had to skip it in 2020, but it's a yearly tradition where whenever I go to Vegas for the Raiders game, I take Dan with me. And obviously we just have a heck of a time out there. So definitely great to see that the tradition will be able to continue, because usually that's when the Chargers play the Raiders at the end of the season. So Jeff is going to have his buddy out there
Don't forget, Joe took us into that speakeasy country.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Uncle Joe, you don't know. Daniel does not shut up about that speakeasy. He loved that speakeasy.
I've talked to Joe since then about where was that again, because I want to make sure I got to go back to that. It was awesome. So anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, second time in 3 years, ending the season in Vegas. I mean, will this be for a playoff berth in a possible Sunday night? But
that's not an accident that they put that game there. I mean,
yeah,
that's good. They've gotten some drama out of that game. So,
well, I mean, here, like NFL Mike tweeted, "Revenge on the Raiders incoming." There's been that was the funniest part about this whole schedule release is I don't know if you saw, Jeff, and I'm sure you were like both of you guys just rolled your eyes, but the Chargers did their whole Pop-Tarts and they tweeted one out where they put for the flavor of the Raiders was garbage. And a lot of Raider fans were like, "Oh, remember 63-21 and all this stuff." And a lot of Charger fans were like, "We're actually glad it happened. It got Telesco fired. It got Brandon Staley fired." So there's a lot of back and forth between them. So it seems like, at least on social media, that rivalry's gotten even more ignited based off of this.
Well, I have a question, and Joe, you could. I was looking at this, in the last half hour. I couldn't find it anywhere. So that first game right now, week 1, Raiders at SoFi. What will the line be in that game? Who's going to be favored? Because I mean, you think, well, the Chargers probably home team. Neither team's great. They should be favored by 3 or something, right? Because they're the home team. But then look if you think about what that happened last time they played, you'd be like, how can the Chargers possibly be favored? They lost this team by 1 million points. So I couldn't find it, but I'm curious what do you guys think? I feel like the Chargers should be favored for some weird reason, even though they got crushed the last time they played each other. Obviously,
I think it'll be at least a 3-point spread
in favor of the Chargers.
But I'm actually looking it up now.
But then if you think about how many times would a team lose by, would they lose by 17 touchdowns? And then the next time they play, they're favored. It's sort of crazy, but I'm really curious. I couldn't, nobody had it I could find.
Yeah, there's 4 NFL games on week 1 that have lines, but Chargers Raiders is not one of them.
Yeah, I think they should be favored, but I don't know. I mean, do you factor in that last game, or you just throw that out because it was such a, we all know where that team.
Well, first off, Herbert didn't play.
Yeah, I mean,
there was a lot of factors, and I'd never like to say that anybody gave up, but it kind of looked like they had mailed it in by that point.
Yeah, it was
and then they kind of turned around and played really tough the last 3 games of the season. So there is kind of that weird dynamic of it looked like they had mailed it in, and then all of a sudden they turn it around and I mean the Buffalo Bills, they only lost to them by 2 points or something. It was pretty close against the Buffalo Bills. And they had their A team out there.
If Richard Sherman and the pregame crew on Amazon had their way, Brandon Staley would have been fired at halftime. Which would have been the first time in NFL history something like that happened. But I mean, that game, there were the Raiders were playing for Antonio Pierce to get considered for the head job because they were struggling coming into that game. And I think that game and then how they played the rest of the season really, really got the interim tag removed off of Pierce. And, I think especially you go back to that Broncos game and that Raiders game, I think you could tell that Staley had lost the locker room by that point. And, there was nowhere near he was coming back. And I know we get a lot of things post-mortem now. I have now heard from a couple people that after that Raiders game, Tom knew what was coming up and was shaking hands and thanking people in the locker room because I think he saw the Grim Reaper in the MGM Club at Allegiant Stadium, with his name. And I think he knew really what was going to be happening.
That must have been a hell of a plane ride, huh, Jeff, on the way back?
Well, it's funny because I guarantee you somewhere in that stadium there was someone dressed as the Grim Reaper because it's the Raiders. So there's
more than one. I think they have a special section at the stadium for Grim Reapers.
There were people, there were actually people dressed like that, which turns out to be pretty ironic now. If you look at the schedule, right? So every team complains about their schedule. Every team's fan base complains about it. What do you complain about if you're the Chargers? If you're Charger fans, the 4 back-to-back road trips, I guess. Is that what?
I think if you're a fan, you
the
lack of respect for dearth of prime time games.
But in terms of what they actually are putting the team through, I'm thinking of more. I guess I can't find much on here other than that. And
fans are not happy about the bye week.
I could see that.
Brett Gardner says travel is one of the things that he's kind of all the miles that they're going to be. You know what? And this is my thing. I'm going to be completely honest. I think week 5 bye. Brett's about to give us a list. I think it'll be interesting. I don't know if they'll. I'm not trying to like guess already in May 15th, but what they'll do because I don't know what. I don't live in. By the way, at the press conference during the draft, in one of those, Harbaugh and I both locked eyes, and like I don't know. I felt like he was like looking into my soul, and I'm like, oh God, like what do I like disengage or do I just continue like looking at him? And I was like, what the heck is going on?
Still nothing like Ben Herbert looking deep into your soul.
Oh, that's yeah. So before when they hired Harbaugh, somebody told me, when you talk to him, be careful because you're going to see he does this thing where he just looks like this.
Yeah,
you can't tell if he's Are you looking at me? Are you looking past me? Like, so that's what he does, and it's just, and he can't. And he kind of his mouth kind of comes over, and he's like, and you're like, what's happening right now?
So I had that look at the Rose Bowl when I asked him about the Chargers job.
And that was at Disneyland.
That he does. So Fernando, were you going with the Carolina?
Oh yeah. So I was thinking they might stay out there.
I wouldn't be surprised because the other thing too, we don't know about, we don't know Harbaugh well at all. Any of us do in this market, really. But he was always, he does these team trips and they travel to Europe. When he's at Michigan, remember they went to Europe that one time.
They went to Rome. People were so mad because they went to Rome. He wanted to go to the Vatican. They went to the Vatican and everything.
It would be like him to go to Carolina, stay somewhere on the East Coast, then go to Pittsburgh. I could see that. So that would mitigate a little bit of that travel.
Well, I remember a couple of years ago, they didn't want to go to They remember when they practiced at Colorado it wasn't Colorado, at Air Force, and then they went to Mexico City to go play the Chiefs. I remember they weren't they didn't really want to do that, and Anthony Lynn was like, well, the altitude and this and that, and so I could see Jim saying, you know what, we play Sunday, might as well just stay out here a couple of days and then go up to Virginia or wherever, like go around there and just stay out there and then come back later, because that's also a lot of traveling and everything. And then I wonder if Jim's gonna go back with if Jim's gonna start doing the whole traveling out 2 days before, or is he gonna do the day before, kind of the way Staley had done it. So there's like a lot of things we really don't know how he's gonna do.
If they wanted between week 2 and 3 to stay out there, it'll be mid-September. And I know some teams have done it for training camp and stuff because it's in West Virginia. You could go from Carolina to the Greenbrier, and then make the short commute to Pittsburgh, because
the Raiders did it last year. I think they played the Browns week 2 or something, and then they played the Bills, or vice versa, something like that. But I remember they stayed out there as well. So I wouldn't put it past them for him to say, you know what, let's just stay out there, have a week of kind of getting away from everything, us being together, and then going up and playing against the Steelers when it comes to Russell Wilson, playing Russell Wilson and all that. But I agree with Jeff. I don't think there's much that fans can, except for that stuff, fans can complain about. But real quick, Uncle Joe, we're getting a question about preseason. Do you think Jim Harbaugh is going to play starters in preseason?
I could see that Seattle game in the first preseason, or the Rams, possibly a couple series, do old style. But I think that I think it's definitely a possibility. But I also think too with team, if some fans are complaining about East Coast trips and stuff, you knew back in late December, you knew when the regular season was over, there were going to be 5 East Coast games. It's just so the way the regular season is factored. So how do you fit in those trips? I think the bigger concern with going out east for me is that week 17 New England game.
Yeah,
it's one of the 5 that could be Saturday because NFL Network can select 3 of the 5, and that's usually known middle to late November. But with Christmas on a Wednesday, if you got to do a fly out on Thursday or Friday, all of a sudden that becomes a very short week to prepare for New England.
Yeah, we remember, Jeff, you were there, set the scene. And that was early December. This is going to be late December when they go out there. You
missed New England.
Oh, no, he missed. Oh, yeah, Jeff did not. My bad, Jeff. You were elsewhere having fun.
Yes, I was at my nephew's wedding.
Yeah.
We were there for the playoff game that was a little bit later in the season, in January. And that was one of the coldest games I've ever been in. So that, and so let's think about this. If they move that game to Saturday, it doesn't seem like they would, but even just say that they did, that could even be at night, right? It could be even colder.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be at night. Yeah, because you have it's a 10 a.m. It's a 10 a.m. slot. There's a 125 slot here locally in California or Pacific, and there's a 5:15 slot. So that's the way they did it last season. So yeah, it could be one of those
slot because one of the five flex games is Cardinals at Rams. So that might get there you go. That might get to 5:15. I think one way or another, one of the LA teams is playing on December 28th. Is it Cardinals at Rams, or is it going to be Chargers at Patriots?
Yeah, it's all going to depend on what the Patriots are looking like, and the Chargers at that, or right around November, like Jeff or Joe, one of you guys said it. But other than that, it's they don't have to go to Brazil. They don't have to go to Europe. So you're pretty much set when it comes to that. You just have to travel to the East Coast multiple times. I don't think late in the season, that December 1st and then December 8th going to Kansas City, I don't see them staying out there. That one they'd come back. The only one that I have questions about is Panthers and Steelers. If they're willing to week 2 and 3, it's so early. Might as well should just stay out there. But late in the season, I don't see them staying out there late in the season.
No, I wouldn't think so. Then the toughest back-to-back games are what? Bengals and Ravens both at home, right?
Yeah.
Stretch,
that kind of stretch is a little tough though, because it's Titans, Bengals, and Ravens.
Yeah,
I think the
Titans.
Their defensive line. They got Jeffrey Simmons. They got
the whole team has to play. Their offense has to play too.
Well, okay, yeah, no,
the whole team has to play.
Well, you got to face Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. That's not.
you're
talking about the banana peel eating, mayo and his coffee drinking Will Levis at quarterback. I think that's who you're talking about.
The Titans are a lot like the Chargers. They could be pretty good. They might be whatever. They're kind of a middling team, probably, right?
Yeah.
But the Bengals and Ravens should be good.
Yeah.
And then they go to Atlanta, which is, and then they do play the Chiefs. So, there's 3 out of 4 games there for sure are tough. But, this isn't, you don't get to schedule, Bowling Green and teams like that anymore. You got to play real teams. So they're going to play these teams one way or the other. So there's going to be a tough stretch. So the point I'm trying to make, it's a very manageable schedule. I think I don't see, and like the 2 of the back-to-backs or trips are Denver and Arizona. Those are, Arizona's nothing. That's short. Denver's not very long.
Whoa. Were you trying to take a shot at Kyler Murray?
That trip's almost as short as a quarterback. Atlanta, Kansas City. Kansas City's only halfway across the country. Then New England and the Raiders. I mean, you're going to Vegas. I mean, that's not far. So it's not. It's a very. I don't know. I look at it. I think the Chargers got a decent schedule here.
Well, and you know what? Remember, right there it says to be determined what day in January. So that could be a Saturday game as well. Yeah. The one in Vegas. So that could mean, Jeff, that Sunday you don't have to leave as early. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just saying. But Uncle Joe, real quick, Dennis has said Joe Alt versus Max Crosby to kick things off. Big test for Joe.
There you go.
I don't know if he's talking about Joe Reedy or Joe Alt, but he said it's a big test for one of them.
I think the thing that's interesting at the beginning of the season is only 2 home games.
Yeah.
The first 7 weeks, including the bye, and unfortunately, one of your 2 home games is, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So, I don't remember the last time the Chargers have had 3 straight home games.
Yeah, no.
So it seemed like last year it was a constant home away routine, where this, at least there's a little bit of order in, multiple weeks on the road, or, getting a homestand in the middle of the season.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Go ahead, Jeff.
I do like that Joe Alt against Max Crosby. Of course, that's going to be, how it is in the NFL now. That's going to be every week for him, for Joe Alt. He's going to be, they're going to be eyeing him up, and we'll see. Who knows? Maybe after that game, teams will say, well, maybe we'll go to the other side. If he's as good as the Chargers hope he's going to be. But yeah, that's a good, we'll all be watching that for sure.
Where the Khalil Mack, Khalil Mack always sharpens the knives for the Raiders, and the last time there was a home game, he had like 6 sacks.
Yeah.
Dennis also said Mack is going to have 12 sacks against the Raiders. He's going to double a sack total against them every year.
These guys are all over it, man. You're exactly right.
Yeah, no, so what did you guys make of Arizona against these guys on Monday Night Football? I thought that was actually pretty. I mean, out of all the games that they could have done, I thought, Uncle Joe, Brett says that you need to be ready. Well, he said he's gonna face Myles Garrett. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that he's gonna face Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. So he put Joe's gonna need to be ready for that.
No, absolutely.
But what did you guys? What were you gonna say, Uncle Joe?
For a streaming game, it's not bad. It'll be shown locally here and in Phoenix, so they'll pick up more ratings points that way, maybe compared to other games.
Joe, but, you know this TV stuff a lot better than I do. I don't understand why would that game? Why is it ESPN Plus? Can't they do like one on ABC, one on ESPN, or what am I missing? Why is that at ESPN Plus?
In the contract, ESPN Plus gets one exclusive game a year. Now, the last 2 years, it was one of the London international games.
Oh, I didn't know
which we were still in bed. And I think last year they did the alternate broadcast with Toy Story for that game.
Okay.
Who knows what they'll do this time? I don't know if Donald Duck, Mickey, and Sport Goofy will be on one team against Chip and Dale or whatever. But
all right, yeah, I didn't know that. Okay,
and Kyler Murray is as short as Chip and Dale, so
it's we're gonna.
So who knows what happens out of that? But I think there are 4 or 5 cases this year where it's corporate greed. Corporate greed is 2 games on Netflix. And how much money the league got on that one. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who hate the whole streaming thing and stuff, but Netflix getting 2 games is but one thing for sure from one of those 2 games, just based on the roast, I don't think Tom Brady is going to be the commentator for one of them. I think that's for sure with his with how much he is regretting now taking part in that roast.
By the way, I didn't like that he came out and said, like, what did he? I mean, for 25 million, you'll take your kids being butthurt for that. I mean, and one of the other things I was wondering is he hurting for money that much that he needed to do that roast for $25 million? He literally got paid the same amount that he did his last year in Tampa, and he took less of a beating. Well, who knows? He might have taken more of a beating, actually.
Oh, I thought you were setting up the joke there, and you did like my Kyler Murray short joke. I just kind of stumbled right into it.
The only thing Nikki Glazer didn't do was do a sack pose over his crumpled body at the end of that.
That would have been amazing. So Dennis has a question for both of you. I'll start off with Uncle Joe because he's on the big screen. He's like, how is it possible that Herbert is 6'6" and leads the league in batted passes, and 5 foot Kyler Murray doesn't?
Arm angle, arm delivery.
Yeah, he does a lot of side arming.
Plus, also how far on some of those pass rushes is the offensive line pushed back. I mean, he is not a just stay in the pocket and throw it. And the other thing too is corporate. I mean, Kyler Murray has a ton of mobility. I mean, he'll go outside and loft it and throw it without anybody nearby either. I mean, the Hopkins Hail Mary was on a scramble play to the outside where he lofted it up there.
Jeff, anything else to add to that one?
I'll just mention to Dennis, we've asked that question repeatedly, and I've never really gotten a real good answer on it. I don't know. I think I'm with you, though. It does seem weird that he does seem to get a lot of balls batted down for as tall as he is, and I've never really gotten a real good answer for why that is. I don't know.
Maybe Shane Day can let us know.
We've asked. Trust me, we've asked around the team. We've asked him. We've asked coaches. So maybe we'll ask Harbaugh if he has a theory.
Well, and also when you're throwing it on 73% of plays, which is one reason why they want to run it a little bit more. That I think that'll help too.
Jeff, when he wakes up in the morning and he sees the greatness that he has in him, he's like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to perform the way I do. It doesn't matter what way, but that way he's committed to excellence. And then Jeff's going to be like, wait, what?
Exactly. He,
but remember, today wasn't just Wednesday. It was today.
That's right. This isn't just another day; it's 2 day. And when he was asked about the offensive line, that was his answer, by the way.
Yeah, no,
it had nothing to do with anything other than he wanted to say it.
I love he was like, I know everybody wanted, like, he looks at, I can't remember who asked him the question about the weapons. He's like, offensive linemen are weapons. And I'm like, I know somebody that loved that answer. Obviously, my brother was like, I love that answer. We are weapons. And I just started laughing. I was like, that's pretty good. But yeah, you learn a little bit every day when you listen to Jim there talking. But
when you listen to him, I think you learn a little bit, and then you also might get a little dumber too. I think at the same time. I think it goes a little bit of both ways with him, because he likes to say these things and then repeat them again and then repeat them again, and then he gets this look on his face, and I think he knows he's doing it. He knows he's repeating. He's saying the same thing again.
Oh yeah.
So it's,
there's a method to the madness, I think. When it comes to
there is. He knows exactly what he's doing. So.
But at least he's entertaining, Jeff. It's not like the Angels last night with you ask Ron Washington, why the heck do you call a suicide squeeze with one out and the bases loaded in the eighth? And he's like, it's not my fault. He didn't execute. And you're like, the pitcher was wild and outside the zone, and you're still calling it. And he's like banging the table that it's not my fault. And it's like, okay, Ron.
I would have been. I was wondering right now where Tillery went, because I remember last year what happened between him and the Chargers and all that, and Tillery's on the Minnesota Vikings, so the Chargers would not play the Minnesota Vikings this year. I know, Uncle Joe, you were looking forward to that if that was a possibility.
Well, they could be in the Super Bowl. What? Don't laugh, Fernando.
Can you imagine if he cost the Vikings a Super Bowl by launching Herbert out of bounds again, or just doing something like that? But folks, real quick, Jeff and Joe, I have a surprise for you guys.
Oh my God!
There it is. This is what I'm talking about right here.
How are we doing? How in the hell is everybody doing? Let me go full screen. I don't have my glasses on today. I can't see out of these things. How are we doing?
I'm doing way better now.
Offensive line coaching glasses.
Oh yeah, these are exactly. These are the show glasses. I got prescriptions for the coaching glasses. No, I'd be like these officials out there in the NFL. I wouldn't be able to see anything. What's going on, dude?
Dan, by the way, the first thing Jeff said he looked at for the schedule was when the Raiders played, when the Chargers played at the Raiders. It is week 18 in January.
Let's go. Is it Sunday?
It might be a Saturday or it might be a Sunday.
Dude, even if it's Saturday, we're not coming back, dude. We're gonna have liver transplants. That's gonna be awesome. Hey, Uncle Joe, back to the barbershop we go, my guy. Little country music night.
But I hope you guys didn't stay at the Mirage last year because it's not gonna be around this year.
Oh, it's getting knocked down?
Mirage is getting shut down late in a couple months because they're gonna make it into a Hard Rock hotel and actually do a guitar-shaped hotel where it's like, didn't the Hard Rock like sell its hotel 5-6 years ago? Because I loved the Hard Rock Casino.
Yeah,
when it was on Paradise Drive and everything. It's like, I thought you guys sold it, and now you're going to spend a lot more money and put something on the strip. Okay.
Dude, that's gonna be crazy. A guitar standing up, that's gonna be actually kind of wild. I'm excited to see that now. I'm amped up. That'll be a architectural feat, I'm sure.
Yeah,
the four of us
should 2027.
2027. Wow, that's gonna. Wow, I did not know that was gonna happen. That is really interesting. Do you know why? I mean, they just decided to change it, or?
I think Hard Rock bought the Mirage, so because I think Mirage used to be Mirage was an MGM property for the longest time, and it got sold to them, and now they're going to completely redo and renovate things.
So the guitar is the actual. I've seen renderings of that. I just thought it was like a guitar, but it's actually going to be the building.
Yeah,
that's going to be awesome, dude. I can't wait to see that.
Huh. All right.
You know, speaking of that, when we do go to Vegas, we should all stay at the Caesar's Palace.
Oh my God.
And
here comes a clip. Everybody ready? There it is. Wow. We had a blast last time we went, dude. We must have gone to sleep. I think. What did we go out Wednesday? No, we went out. When did we go out?
We went out Wednesday.
Oh, it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
We didn't get back till like I think 1 or 2 or maybe 12. I don't even remember. I just remember at one point it was myself, Sir Jeffrey, and Fernando at the In and Out trying to sober up a little bit.
Oh yeah,
get some food in before we go to sleep, dude.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, no, and then Jeff walked back to his hotel. He was like, I'm walking back. I'm like, oh, good luck.
Yeah, for real.
I gave him my rosary. I'm like, good luck making it there. So
the great thing about making that walk now is that Sphere's all lit up all night long. So it's like a big beacon, lights up half the street. So and half the people are stopping to watch that thing. So there's people all over the place. So it's not as scary as the walk as it used to be.
So before all right, I was hoping that he would show up so that I could show you guys the Chargers version of how they released the schedule.
Okay, before we even do this, just so you know, Jeff, this is my version of officially official and all that other stupid crap you hate on Twitter. I think schedule releases are the dumbest thing on the planet. Like, almost as bad. Except I was telling him, Uncle Joe, I was like, I'm not a huge fan of mock drafts either, and kind of all the hype for the mocks or the draft and everything else. I'm like, this is just another thing, just because they want to stay relevant and just get people talking. And I get it, but
it's the Super Bowl of the social media team.
It's the most idiotic thing. The thing that matters the least, the social media part of the team.
Well, it's like the Redskins all the years during the offseason winning free agency, the offseason champions.
Uncle Joe, they who must not be named. What are you talking about?
So, Dan, have you seen the video the Chargers did?
No, of course not. All I saw was some tweet that he sent to a group chat with my cousin about the stupid Pop-Tart thing that they did last year, this year. I don't even know. I was just like, no, I haven't seen it. If it's another anime cartoon, I'm gonna lose it and I'm gonna log off. That's terrible.
It's not anime.
Okay, thank God.
Okay.
Oh my God. This is what they get. This is what they came up with. The Sims.
I don't want to get copyrighted by the song.
This is The Sims. Oh my God.
Yeah, see, I just have so many questions about
Dan, if he's wearing a Raiders jersey, who do you think that is?
That's why that. Oh my!
That's Cam Newton right there. That's Cam Newton.
Ooh.
So what's all this?
They're playing the Panthers. Cam Newton got into fights. He got into fights when he was there, and then he's gotten into that one's the weird one to me. I don't know who the guy in the mat. I don't know if that's
is it Speed or who does
it might be. No, Meek Mill's I don't know actually.
Oh, this one I had no idea.
That's Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Oh, there you go. The private jet.
This one I got. This one I understood. The off-day one I got.
That's your quarterback.
Well, he's wearing a green in Oregon. He's not in Oregon anymore. Walmart.
And
basically saying that he got rid of everybody. This one.
Who's
Uncle Joe? Do you understand that one?
I do not.
How much do these people get paid? That's what I want to know.
This I have no idea what's happening with this.
Oh, I guess. Do they play New Orleans? I don't know.
Yeah,
what
they
is
play
this?
New Orleans. Uncle Joe, do you understand this one?
Not really.
The Cleveland Browns. Okay, so the New Orleans one, they have like a voodoo doll.
Yeah, sure.
And then it says Bounty Gate, Minneapolis Miracle, Kevin James as Sean Payton, or no PI call, the one against the Rams. So they basically showed the four. Yeah.
But why is that guy wearing a Cardinal jersey then? That's kind of weird.
And then
they're elves. That's why they're elves.
Oh, there you go, Uncle Joe. Good job, Dan.
There you go. I got a brain.
What does it have to do with the Browns?
They got the elf as their old time mascot.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I don't know what in the hell this is, dude. Like
Lightning McQueen, the Red Stallion, Baltimore Orioles, 49ers, 69ers, Stars, Peas, Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know.
This is so stupid.
And then this Jamar Chase, 7-Eleven, always open.
Can Jim Harbaugh get in the social media room and shut it down? We need to shut this down. In my mind, this is like being a stand-up comedian. If you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. Don't use it, dude. This is idiotic. I don't even know what any of this is.
Well, this is a Tiger King riff too.
I don't like 7-Eleven. Okay, I get that. The rest of it, I don't know. Like, what are these?
And then right here, it has a missing elf for the Cleveland Browns, the logo.
But the guy is Joe Burr or what?
I don't.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
He's Joe Burrow.
So he's going to Kentucky. Like, what's happening? What?
I don't know.
He got eaten by a flying Venus flytrap. What is this?
Okay, this one's actually not. It's actually pretty funny to see this one. That's Jim and John, obviously. This one,
the only one that we understood.
This one's like that's Kirk Cousins. I think that's Quavo.
Atlanta. What is this? Some club?
That's Kirk Cousins though.
This is so weird.
They should have had Lou Williams there.
Is he in Atlanta?
No, but Lou Williams, remember the lemon pepper?
Yeah,
Lou?
yeah. Well, the thing I remember most was the wife and the girlfriend living
That's
with him.
the mascot that got arrested.
Yeah, that's the super fan. The super fan out of Kansas City.
This one I got.
And that's Mama Kelsey.
Baker? We played Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Chef Baker? Oh, wow.
And then so if you saw when they did the Broncos, you can see Jokic over here.
Oh, Denver?
And then and then they do what is he gonna? He's gonna throw a coin into a well, and it says "Wish for the quarterback, wish for cap space, wish for good uniforms."
You're telling me good uniforms is something you would wish for? Who cares if you have a quarterback in cap? Wow, there you go. Bronco country still riding strong, I guess.
And then the Patriots is the retirement home, so you have Gronk, Edelman, Brady.
So stupid. Those guys have more.
Your dynasty has ended, but the town lives on. There's no reason to let this house stay empty. Would you like to restart?
Those guys. Oh my God, they didn't. They mocked their own player that left. Oh my God.
But look at this, Dan. Look where they are.
Yeah, where are they? Oh, ooh.
And do you know who this is?
No, who?
Tom Telesco.
See, I don't even get why. I hate everything. This is terrible. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. This was worse than the anime. I thought the anime made more sense. Do they play the Jets? Do they play the? Then why is Aaron Rodgers in it?
I don't understand. God. I don't understand this either.
We're gonna make a petition. No. I would see based off of that commercial or whatever, I would not buy tickets. I would choose another team. That's terrible. That is terrible, dude. None of it made sense. You can barely see half of it. Like, it's just, I can't believe people waste time on this. Like, I would like to know whose hands this passes through before it gets approved. That to me is insane. Like, how could anyone look at that and say, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
Well, some people in the comments understand it.
Yeah, I can tell you, those people in the comments aren't football fans. I'll tell you that.
Well, and the thing is,
I meant in our comments, dummy.
Oh my bad. Well, I have full screen. I can't see. That's why I have full screen.
I mean, considering the number of riffs this social media team has done in the past, because I think the one thing we were all wondering was with Harbaugh and Ortiz in there now, would it get toned down? It did get toned down a bit compared to past years, but also 5 and 12 will also tone you down
100%. Like, I still can't believe they posted the Justin Herbert sign, the missing sign, and in parentheses it says missing you or something stupid like that. But like the huge letters say missing, and I'm like, you see how much crap my boy gets from all these pundits, and you think it's okay to put up a thing that says missing Justin Herbert? Like, where's the brains in the operation? It's just nowhere to be found.
Okay, so here we go. We're getting a little clarity. Did you understand the Cousins plot line? He used the voodoo doll from Minnesota Miracle, and then the Falcons drafted Penix.
Okay, so the guy coming in with the purple jersey was Penix. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's so funny. Washington. Okay, I guess.
This is crazy. You need like a whole 15-minute let's explain the Chargers release video type thing. Like, it's just insane, dude.
Deer says that they're gonna go 13-4, AFC West champs, take it to the bank.
Oof.
What bank are we talking about? A bank in Colombia, or where the exchange rates are favorable? What bank are we talking about, my friend?
Uncle Joe, I've been in the streets. I've been talking to, agents. I've been talking to, higher ups in certain industries. Justin Herbert, per my sources, is going to start dating Sydney Sweeney. Dynasty in the making. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We're going to get some star power in here. I saw the blueprint. I've seen the light. Well, it's on, dude. I'm going to find someone. If I have to go snag Shakira, maybe Shakira's bigger than Taylor Swift. He can get a little cougar action and we'll get a dynasty. Whatever it takes. No biggie. No biggie.
You don't really want to aim big like Olivia Rodrigo or noted USC fan and LA native Olivia Rodrigo.
Is she really? Yeah, yes. But like,
Okay,
I guess that's true.
That was the
I
only
guess-
highlight of the USC UCLA game last year. There were two highlights.
I didn't
The
even
Brendan
know.
Race 84-yard touchdown and Olivia Rodrigo on the sideline.
Yeah,
So
I had no
Wheelie
idea.
is helping us out. The guy leaving the ball mart was Lewis Hamilton. He regrets buying the the Broncos.
He bought into the
And
Bronco.
yeah, they even had him in a Ferrari since leaving Mercedes. Since he's leaving Mercedes for next year.
Since
Okay,
when did he
that's-
buy into the Broncos?
I had no idea that happened.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah. That is all right. So before we kind of end this, I did want to put Dan on the spot. Dan, are you ready?
I'm ready. Send it.
All right.
Send it, send
Week
it, send it.
1, Raiders at home.
Dub, give me that.
At Panthers, week 2.
Dub, give me that.
At Steelers, week 3.
Dub, give me that. Mr. Steel City. He's gonna burn himself to the. He won't even be the starter. Probably he'll be the backup. Give me that.
Chiefs come to SoFi.
Oh, okay. So this one, I'm gonna say like Brandon Staley, but not. Don't take it out of context because they're seeing Harbaugh for the first time. Give me the Chargers upset.
Oh wow.
Bye week and then at Broncos.
Bye week win. Broncos dub. At Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah, dub. That's a dumpster fire. They don't know what they're doing over there.
At Cardinals on Monday Night Football.
Give me a
Kids
dub.
Show, don't forget.
Dub. That'll be a massacre. When is that game? What's the date?
October 21st.
There'll be a new version of Call of Duty or FIFA or something up. Kyler Murray will go play. He won't watch tape. It's in his contract, though. He won't watch tape.
The Saints come marching in.
Dub. What is that right there? Are we like, is that 8-0? 9-0?
Oh, yeah, you do have them at 7-0. You have them at 7-0. Yeah.
All right. Not the same old Chargers. God bless Harbaugh. Please.
All right. At Browns.
Oh.
Kid Show.
Yeah, see, he might be extra relaxed. That's what I'm trying to think. What do you think, Uncle Joe? We'll go 50-50 on that. Would that be the first one? They might be all right this year with Stefanski. They got some stuff up there, don't they?
Yeah, but I mean, also, early November, weather should be decent. Browns at home with Myles Garrett. I would probably go loss at this point.
Yeah, I'll take that. Just so I don't seem too homer. I'll take that. What's that? 7-1?
Now you're going to start worrying about being too.
No,
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. I'm at least honest. I have my bias, and there's times where I try and be objective. I'm at least honest. I'm not pretending like I'm I'm not pretending I'm one of you guys actually being a journalist and everything else. I'm just a mouthpiece. I'm just a wise man. All right, here we go.
7-1. What we got?
7-1 so far. Titans come to
Oh,
LA.
done. Dub. Give me it.
Bengals come to LA.
That'll be an L. They'll be ready to go, especially if Joe Burrow's in there. I think the wide receiver situation is going to be interesting. Where it's going to be interesting to see what type of offensive line they have, everything. But I'll take that one. I'll take that L.
All right, you have them at
8-2.
8-2. Ravens come here
No,
on
give me
Monday
that
night.
dub. He's been able to see Lamar Jackson up close. So I took a lot of flack last year talking about Lamar Jackson, and before we went into the before the playoffs happened, I told everyone, don't be impressed. Brandon Staley's defense kept him to 13 points through 3 or 4 quarters, missing some players and everything else. Keep the guy in the pocket. He's going to struggle. What happens in the AFC Championship just because they kind of got past a few teams? Kept his ass in the pocket, and guess what? Throwing into triple coverage, can't read where the safety is. All of a sudden, we're not looking like super
Dolphins
Lamar.
fans, Ravens fans, and Lions fans,
which
do
I can't
not
believe.
like Dan and Daygo.
I can't believe they extended Jared Goff to that
Well,
much money.
well, Dan, you do realize that the receiver who beat the Chargers was the one they overlooked.
Yeah. I do. But like, even think about that, right? Like, it's like I think Jeff said last time, with so much dysfunction that was happening in that room, according to everyone who has better sources than myself, they still held a supposed juggernaut Lamar Ravens team and everything else, all the hype, to 13 points in 3 quarters or 10 points in 3 quarters. I totally agree with you. They overlooked him, and maybe for the better because he had his own legal troubles, I think, or something not too long ago. But they scored on just a breakaway last second play, and it iced the game more than anything. I thought the score was obviously misleading, but it is what it is. I wasn't impressed with him. I'm still not impressed with him. So I'll take that dub.
All right, so 10-2 at Falcons.
Dub. That's a joke. They signed Kirk Cousins. They're not serious about winning. They passed on Bill Belichick. It's a joke.
Who will be starting by that point? Michael Penix?
Michael Penix.
Yeah, but just remember, Robert Kraft told Arthur Blank not to.
I'm glad we brought this up. I just barely finished the Dynasty, and they make Bill Belichick look like some mass murderer and just some like terrible human being. And it's just the smear campaign against him is insane. And it makes what he said at the roast even funnier. But, one storyline, I know I'm getting ahead, but one storyline in the NFL that I'm excited or interested to see is like the teams that passed on Belichick, Vrabel, and Pete Carroll, like the Raiders, the Titans, the Falcons. I don't know who. Like, I'm interested to see what happens if you start off 2-5, 2-6, or whatever it is. You passed up on some, very worthy candidates that they could have essentially turned your team around potentially because they know, well, Vrabel's been in the building. He's had some good years, but the other two knows what it takes to win. They've won Super Bowl. So that's kind of something that's going to be interesting to me this season.
That's, yeah. So what do we have them 10-2?
Who's next? Who's next to step up to the slaughter?
At Chiefs on Sunday Night Football.
See, they'll take the L. They'll take the L on that one. Arrowhead stuff to play up.
Oh shoot! What did I say?
11-3. 10-3.
No, 10-3. 10-3. Yeah. Buccaneers come to SoFi.
I'll take that. The NFC South is trash.
11-3. Broncos come to SoFi.
Oh, trash. Give me it.
12-3 at Patriots.
That should be trash. Give me that.
13-3 at Raiders to finish it off.
Are we really going to win 14 games?
You're like the take it to the bank guy.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if it's my hubris. I don't know if it's my belief in Jim Harbaugh. I don't know if it's I have very little to live in the NFL. Like, it's terrible. Every year's terrible. I'm tired of it. I'm optimistic. But, like, this is what I was telling everybody. If that doesn't happen, I think they at least win 10 games during the wild card. That's my prediction. I already bet wings and beer on it. But they have the benefit, number one, of having, a head coach who's done it before, competent, going to bring grit, going to bring physicality, something they've never had before. And the other thing is they have a last place schedule. No one on that schedule besides, I guess, and I hate to say it, the Chiefs are a real threat to me where I'm like, ugh, it's Andy Reid.
Their matchup against AFC North, that can be.
Yeah, that'll be.
Sure.
A tough slog.
Sure, the Bengals, the Ravens don't make me nervous. The Steelers don't make me nervous.
Well, yeah, because the Chargers poached like half of the organization from the Baltimore Ravens.
They're going to have some insider knowledge, some insider trading. Then if we get Jack Harbaugh before, or what's the other one's name? John does for the pregame speech, it's over. It's over.
I mean, are the Chargers going to be wearing the Ravens home jerseys for that Monday night Thanksgiving game?
Hey, my school colors that I work at are purple. That would be nice for me, dude. I look good. In purple.
Jeff and Joe, again, we appreciate you guys so much for jumping on with us. Just real quick, Jeff, I'll ask you about one, and then Joe, I'll ask you about the other one. Jeff, Bud Dupree, what did you make of that signing?
That's what it looks like when the team actually builds depth and wants to. This is what we've heard this forever, and this is what it actually looks like. That's what that was. That was a team actually getting depth and getting people here in case people get hurt and whatever else. That's what that was. That's why it seems so unusual and so unlike what we've seen here for a while. That's what that looks like.
This depth. What is this depth that you speak of?
The depth of the ocean. Wheelie says Joe's COVID press conference from the bed is still legendary.
Oh, that is the best. That's a good callback. Shout out to Wheelie.
Dude. It is. That's excellent. That is excellent.
Joe, what did you make of DJ Chark?
They needed a veteran receiver. You know, he played well in spots at Jacksonville. I mean, I also think it's not the last veteran receiver we see signed. There's going to be some post June 1 cuts. They've got to add, to me, another veteran receiver or two. So, you know, go out, let's see him compete, and go from there. I mean, at least a good thing too is with these draft picks, they've definitely got a chance to make a name for himself, because I mean, to me, kind of the two understated guys in this draft class who I think could have big years is the kid from Alabama in the middle rounds and Brendan Rice.
Yeah, no, I thought Brandon Rice was actually kind of a steal, especially. I mean, I heard the press conference and what he had to say, and he just sounded like he was really he's all about wanting to change the perception on him, and obviously he said his dad wasn't happy with his draft status, which I mean, obviously, what parent's gonna be happy unless you're in the first round of where you got drafted? But
well, and also he's not afraid to go down the middle.
Yeah,
on these crossing routes and everything, which really, you know, Keenan and Mike, God bless them, but when's the last time we've seen a Chargers receiver who wasn't afraid to go down the middle on a crossing route or something and go get it?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Real quick, Dan, what do you make of this? Do you know who this is?
Oh, there he is. The son of Odin in his who's that idiot in the middle trying to just block the whole thing? My God. I like that he got a haircut, though. That way his hair, he doesn't look like a dirty hippie, and he has his hair out of his face. I like that. Who's this guy, dude? You see what I'm talking about with the social media team? This guy's blocking the shot, and we think this is okay to post.
I think it's.
Look at him. I could watch him. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, at least makes his kick.
Don't rip the punter, who was one of the understated MVPs of this team last year.
I was about to say, yeah, he gets a pass, but still, I could watch that guy snap, play action, everything all day, dude. He's the best in the league. I'm convinced. I don't care what anyone tells me. He's the best in the league. I'd take him over everybody.
Obviously I wanted you.
Is that Emmanuel Acho on the other line?
Oh my God. You know what? That guy really, you could tell, like, he was trying to use my boy's name to aggrandize a show that's probably suffering in ratings. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, this isn't WWE, guy. Don't speak about my boy. You have no knowledge of it.
Last one, guys, I promise. And again, we appreciate you guys jumping on. You got Jeff, you've seen the videos. Joe, you've seen the videos. Now you guys can experience one since you guys are here. Dan, this is Matthew Berry's top 10 quarterbacks going into this year.
My God. Josh Allen, number 1.
Josh Allen, 2. Jalen Hurts.
How is Anthony Richardson? He didn't even play the whole year. Joe Burrow didn't even play the whole. Oh my God. Kyler Murray. Who's Matthew Berry? That's that idiot who does the fantasy football stuff, right? Who's that guy? Yeah. See, he doesn't know anything. This is his fantasy football crap. That's fantasy football. Look, they're all scramblers. Yeah, that's fantasy football manure. Yeah, no, I'm not listening to this. I cannot believe the blasphemy of putting Anthony Richardson, rookie, didn't play the whole year, trash. You know, Joe Burrow, respect, solid. Didn't play the whole year. Terrible.
What about number 9?
Oh, yeah. Who's 9? Dak Prescott is just a joke to me at this point. Like, the guy is terrible. How he's gotten paid and stayed in the league this far, I have no idea.
So
Jordan Love.
Go ahead, Jeff.
This is based on like fantasy points or what?
It has to be.
Yeah, it is.
It has to be.
Why is Dak Prescott on there like that?
Yeah.
Like,
why
garbage. Is he top 10 of anything?
Yeah,
like
it's fantasy football.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
That's because all these guys are dual threats. But Joe Burrow isn't a dual threat, but he just throws a lot, I guess. But that is ridiculous to me. You know, the son of Odin is number 1. Everybody else is number 2. It doesn't even matter. Who cares? This is just unbelievable.
Oh, damn.
The slander.
Oh, hold on. Well, I mean, it's fantasy football, I guess. But
here we go.
Dan, I got one last one for you. And again, again, Jeff and Joe, I'm sorry, but this has to you guys have to see this one. This is from FanDuel, I think. True or false? Brock Purdy over Justin Herbert.
Are you serious? Are you serious? You put the son of Odin on that team. He throws for 1,000 yards in the Super Bowl. This is ridiculous, dude. I can't believe these Brock Purdy. Check the tape. Look at the Super Bowl. He couldn't find his hot route over here wide open, and because of him, we had to deal with a whole nother year of those morons winning another championship, even though they got the 12th man and everything else. But, this is ridiculous to me. This is ridiculous, dude. The son of Odin has made bag boys look like all-pro receivers. What has this guy done? He has an all-pro left tackle, has a great offensive line, run game receivers, a head coach who can call plays and understand what he's doing. Like, I'm not even going to – you're trying to work me up.
But you're forgetting something now, Dan. He now has Brandon Staley on his coaching staff
as a time manager, or what?
Yes, it's the fourth down, go for it guy.
I know. I can't believe, it's so crazy to me when we talk about quarterbacks, or when people talk about quarterbacks. It's so hard for them to understand. The situation they're in, the things they have to overcome and stuff like that. Like, you put Herbert's career versus Mahomes. Herbert's had to overcome a lot more than Mahomes has had to overcome. And it's just a joke to me. Like, ability, everything else, give me the freaking son of Odin. Oh my God. They put Brock Purdy number 2. Dak Prescott ahead of Justin Herbert? That's a freaking joke, dude. That is a joke. I swear, these quarterback rankings, you can tell they do these stupid things on purpose.
This list is Mahomes 1, Brock Purdy 2, Josh Allen 3, Burrow 4, CJ Stroud 5, Lamar 6, Jalen Hurts 7, Dak Prescott 8.
How is Jalen Hurts top 10? He had a terrible year.
And Jordan Love 10. Hold on, there's a second part.
Oh my God.
They have
they already put Caleb Williams at 23. Hasn't taken it down yet. All right.
They have Aaron Rodgers at 11. They have
Tua is not top 15. I can find someone better.
Jared Goff is 13. Kirk Cousins is 14. Trevor
Russell Wilson top 19.
I think Matthew Stafford is getting disrespected by this list.
I was just thinking the same thing. Stafford is.
Yeah, 100%. He had also a bad team the past few years after the Super Bowl.
I'm not gonna lie.
If I'm Derek Carr, I personally find this guy and punch him out for putting him behind Will Levis.
He's behind JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy.
He's only one spot better than Jacoby Brissett, is what this list tells us.
No, you know who's the worst one? Daniel Jones is behind Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, JJ, Anthony, and Caleb, who haven't even taken a freaking snap yet. They already think he's going to be trash.
If Brock Purdy played for the Panthers, would he be second on this list?
No. That's what people don't get.
If he played for the Falcons, would he be on this list?
No.
Like that. No. That's the thing about him is I think he benefits from the players around him. If he was on a crappy team, if he played for the Patriots right now, would anybody know who he is?
Yeah, no.
If he played for the Chargers, Jeff, the past few years, they wouldn't know. It's ridiculous.
It's funny to me. Like, I mean, the team's good, but I don't. Is he? I mean, if you put, I don't know who, just one of those top guys on a crappy team, they'd probably still be decent. I don't even know if he would do anything.
No.
Yeah. Like it's funny how he having him second on this list, it seems a little strong.
Well, that's the thing that bothers me. Going back to what you're saying, they're not talking about ability. They're talking about what the team did last year. Like, you're not going to have him there just be like they have him there just because he played Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
yeah.
Then you have the Bills who always kowtow to the damn Chiefs.
I mean,
trade with them.
That's ridiculous.
DJ Stroud might be number 2 on that list if you're being honest.
Yeah, CJ Stroud's pretty good.
I mean, he turned that entire franchise around.
Well, now Stephon Diggs is there, so I'm interested to see what that's all going to look like.
Yeah.
Well, and also the team that has benefited from, additional prime time appearances this year is definitely Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, they get the Christmas game. I mean, let's face it. Who would have even in September or October had Chicago at Houston as a week 2 NBC game?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Caleb Williams and CJ Stroud. And I mean, that's the one thing I think more proof that this is a quarterback driven league. You look at the number of young quarterback matchups this year. I mean, Caleb Williams versus CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams versus the Washington kid Daniels. I think Chicago takes on New England this year. JJ McCarthy's going to get a couple.
The Panthers are the only team that don't have a primetime game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got the owner freaking out and throwing drinks on people, acting all weird. But I love how that guy was punished. And when Brittany Mahomes did it, it was just just Brittany being Brittany, having fun. Idiots.
All right. On that note, again, Jeff Miller and Joe Reedy, thank you guys so much for jumping on. We're going to have you guys on multiple times before the season even starts. It's always fun when you get the 4 of us together, obviously. So, again, thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Dan, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to jump back in real quick and talk with Jeff and Joe. We obviously love having you on. But, again, thank you guys so much. I don't know when we'll be back. If these guys do anything in the next couple of weeks, we'll probably try and jump back. But yeah, this was awesome. I love this collab, and we'll definitely do it some more. Thank you, Mimsy. Thank you to everybody, Dennis, Brett, Wheelie, all you guys for jumping on. And it was great to see Dan again. There you go. See, you have the people missing you.
Appreciate you. It's
like a WWE the drums, Nando. The drums.
The drums. Yeah, exactly. But thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you for everybody for jumping on. You guys are awesome. Again, we will be back soon. We'll let you guys know. But to Jeff, to Joe, to Dan, thank you guys so much. And we are out. Dan, let's go.